Hello everyone and welcome to the Snapshot 36 showcase video. Very excited to show you the highlight of this snapshot. Introducing the Sprite Generator effect. This is a new generator effect that can be used to spawn sprites from all across the screen. It's quite a massive feature, so let's dive straight in. At its core, the Sprite Generator is very simple. It spawns sprites from the edges of the screen. Upon opening the menu though, you can see there's much more to it. First up is the item. A lot of sprites are compatible with the generator. To insert your sprite of choice, first place it down, then press the detach button below the preview. Then drag your sprite into this menu and it's applied to the generator. You can also find some common sprites used by generators in the submenu. Since sprite banks are compatible with generators, they can also be found here. Next up are spawn directions. Pretty straightforward, it just lets you choose from where the sprites spawn. In this case, for example, they'll come from the left and right side of the screen. The next two options are also pretty straightforward. The cycle delay is just the amount of seconds between each spawn cycle, and the spawns in cycle is the amount of sprites that spawn each time. The third one is a bit more complex. It's basically the delay between each sprite spawning within the current cycle. So instead of 5 bullets being spawned together, you can have a brief delay between them spawning in. Next up are optional sprite caps. The total sprites is the amount of sprites the generator can spawn in during its lifetime. Once that limit is reached, the generator automatically stops. The second option is the amount of sprites that can be active at once. If this limit is reached, the generator simply pauses and resumes automatically when existing sprites have been removed. Now onto the advanced options, starting with spawn margins. Spawn margins basically allow you to extend the area of which sprites are able to spawn in. By default, it's only the visible screen edge, but you can extend this to beyond the screen corners. This is useful for distributing sprites in a wider area, such as for meteors, so the player can just outrun them easily. Next up is the optional explosion effect. During each cycle, you can make the generator create a screen shake and explosion sound. This can be fitting for certain generators, like when bombs are being dropped. You can also make the effect play before the sprites are spawned in. This can act as a warning to the player that they need to prepare for incoming sprites. Next is the ability to set a target location. This is primarily intended for projectile-based sprites, such as bullets and bones. You can have them target the player, the center of the screen, or just a random location determined by RNG. And finally, we have the no spawn zones. No spawn zones are areas where sprites cannot spawn in. With a horizontal no spawn zone of 16, for example, these fish won't spawn in this area of the screen. You can also move the origin of the no spawn zone around with the offset options inside the menu. And that's all of the options covered. Some final things to mention, like the other effects, you can turn them on and off in real time using the tagging system. There's also some pre-configured Sprite Generator effects to choose from. These are the same effect, just with different default values. You can freely customize these further to your liking. And that concludes the Sprite Generator effect. We're looking forward to seeing what you all can do with it, as this spawner opens up a whole new world of creative possibilities. The snapshot should be out in the nearby future, but for now, thanks for watching and have a great rest of your day.
Fish, 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 fish.